My name's Shane Cooper. I live at Hillstown. I've been in the area all my life. My dad, Gordon Richard Cooper, was killed in the 1973 cage disaster. He got two brothers. He always lived in the Bolsover area. Worked at Oxcroft Pit, and he'd recently moved just before the accident to Markham Colliery. He got 3 children. Myself, who was 2 at the time of the accident, and I've got 2 sisters, Deborah, who was 7, and Kerry were 5 years old. To be honest, because I were only 2, I don't know a lot about him. The night before the incident, my mum and him had been prepping for some decorating, so he didn't get to bed till really late, and for some reason he couldn't sleep very well that night. He set his alarm clock, got up, turned it off, went back to sleep, jumped out of bed startled. My mum asked him to get back in bed. Get back in bed, he hadn't had enough sleep, just come back to bed, because he wasn't used to that shift. He did afters. He always did afters. And they'd asked him to work for somebody else who were going on holiday as a favour to do the earlies. And he did say to him, I do want to get back in bed, but I can't let work down. So he gave me mum a kiss. He came and gave all us 3 a kiss like he always did. Grabbed his lunchbox, went out the house. My mum, she watched him go down the garden, out of sight, and he were always whistling. And he were whistling and singing. And one of his favourite songs were 16 Tons, which ironically is about a coal miner, and she just watched him disappear out of sight. And then on 1 o'clock news, my sisters were in the living room, and my mum was in the kitchen doing some washing, and my sister, who was 7, had noticed that there was something come on the news, that there was an accident at Markham Colliery. She realised it was then, so she told my mum. She came running in, watched the end of the news, but his dad said on the news that all the relatives had been informed. So my mum just says, well, your dad will be okay, he's probably helping with rescue. It wasn't till 3:30 in the afternoon that my granddad came and informed us that he'd been involved, but she still thought he was okay, because like I said, all relatives of the victims had been informed. But he sadly told her, no, he's died in it. She went into a state of shock. My 2 sisters, they started kicking me granddad because they didn't want it to be true. I had no idea what were happening, so my mum says that I started kicking my granddad as well, bless him. And then my granddad got a car from somebody, and they took her to the hospital. This would be about 4:30 time in the afternoon. They were met by a vicar. The vicar said there must be some mistake, because all the families had been here all day and gone home, so there must be some mistake. The nurse came in and says, no, your husband's name isn't on my list. So just as my mum was building her hopes up, thinking somebody made a terrible mistake, a policeman came in and said, I'm sorry, Mrs. Cooper, your husband's name's at the top of my list. So it happened at 6 o'clock in the morning. He eventually died around about 11 o'clock in the morning, but we didn't find out till 3:30 in the afternoon. But I suppose in them days, there's there weren't as many telephones, and not as many people had cars. But unfortunately, my mum weren't there when he eventually died, bless him. I still talk about it to this day. If anything that happens in your childhood affects your life, but losing a big part of your life, it'll affect me forever, and my sisters, and my mum. My mum never remarried. My sisters, they can. My eldest sister was 7. She can remember him, and my other sister was 5. She can remember bits about him. Being 2, I can't remember anything. think I can remember things, but it's just what a child does and putting little bits together what people have told you. So no, yeah, it was sad time. When they first had the 40th anniversary of it, I got to meet a load of people. I found out things that I didn't know. So for me, it's been great. A lot of people, it brought it all back, and it was raw for them talking to people. But it's been good for me. I like the fact that we're getting all these, memorials up. If we can get them all up, I'll be ecstatic. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for the community. People need to remember it.
Sorry. I was just going to say, why do you think it's so important to remember for the community?
Well, we're in a generation now where the children don't know anything about their minds. They might learn a little bit at school, but it was a big part of our heritage, our area. And these people, they gave their lives. They went, they innocently went to work on a morning or afters or whatever, because there were three disasters, and they never came home to the families, and the stories need to be told.